Here we are, back in the garage for part 2. So if you look in the top left, the game did get updated. This is a internally tested build. Made some tweaks to the AI, it hasn't been pushed out to the Kickstarter and Patreons yet. But again, in this part, we're going to focus on the parking area stuff, racing some rivals, and some in-game driving techniques. Because it is a little bit challenging for a new player. So let's jump over to the PA. So I'm starting back here at the car storage just to show you where you got to go to get to the PA, because sometimes it can be confusing. So after you get your car, you're back here outside of the car storage. Just go right over here down this ramp. You'll see the big red circle. And as soon as you get somewhat close, you'll just see enter the PA. Just go ahead. So here we are, back in the PA. Look at this animation for it. Ikaho PA, owned by G Company. There's our current earnings and our record here. And it tells you, call other racers to race. Beware of high rep racers. Choose racers with rep close to yours. Open the phone to view your rep. And here's our car, all stock, all basic, steelies, no swag. And then, like I said, open our phone. We see the top right. There's our money, our PA rep, and our night multiplier. And we can see all the other rivals, Case K, Haruto, Dice K, and this is it to start with. And before we go ahead and race, let's take a look at the pause menu, go down to game, and there's all these, and then you'll see the AI difficulty. I typically play at 4, but if you're new to racing games, or you're just like kind of getting off work and want to chill out, you can lower this. There's no shame in that, except I will make fun of you. So let's continue on 2 for now, just for the sake of the video. And another thing to note with the difficulty is if you race on a higher difficulty, like difficulty 4, you are incentivized because you'll get a higher side bet cut based on your difficulty. So if you're playing on a difficulty 4, you get, let's say, 2 times the side bet cut compared to if you're playing on 2. Let's go ahead and start with... they're all drag races, so I suppose we'll start with a drag race. Case K, let's make it happen. Picks up, he insults me, the typical street racer stuff. We can start with a 200,000 yen racer. Our rep goes up just from accepting a bet, which you get a lot more rep from the actual races and winning them compared to just, farming challenging them. So, winning is in your best interest, obviously. So here we are, start of the drag race, shows the wager, who are racing, and how many heats it has. So we're at the first heat out of 3. These drag races are best of 2. So if you win 2 out of the 3, you win. And here in the tire temp, you just want to hold the gas and the brake, and then you want to get it up to 70 degrees ideally. You don't want it you want it between 60 and 80. The closer you are to 70, the bigger of a grip bonus you get at the start of the race. And here before we start, I just hold both gas and brake, and when he flashes, you start the race. You just let go of the brake. And these earlier ones, they're pretty easy on drag races. You just use the manual with clutch, and you win pretty easily. The later end ones with, the really high horsepower cars are quite a bit more difficult on drag races. So let's do that one more time. Here's the second heat. If we win this, we win the whole race. And again, the ideal tire temperature is 70 degrees. So just take off a little bit, hold the brake, and then let go of the gas again. Let go of the brake again, and then you'll speed forward, ideally hitting 70 degrees for that small grip bonus at the start of the race. And one more time, I just hold both gas and brake, max out my RPMs until he flashes the light like that. And when I hit red line, shift up. Shift up one more time. And that's about as simple as it gets for drag races. The drag races are definitely the easier races in the early game. Late game, again, or late game for the private alpha, I should say, they do get more difficult. So if you do want a little bit of easy money at the start, drag races are the way to go. I personally do like the health races we will get into very soon. So, yeah. You can see our night multiplier going up right there. And the night multiplier does matter a lot, because you'll get quite a bit more money as the night goes on. Because you can see our night rep bonus, because we had 0 at the start, we get no bonus out of that. But if you max it out at 3 times, you'll be getting quite a bit more money than you initially did. And that time it didn't prompt us to jump back to the PA. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's a little bit iffy. Again, it costs 100,000 to jump back to the PA, but we're relatively close to the bottom of the mountain, so let me just jump back right over there. So here we are back at the PA. There's our stock car again. There's Keisuke, who we just raced. Daisuke, Haruto, and because we got our rep up, it's now 410. There's another racer over here, Sakura. And you can see his rep is 5,000, and his bet's going to be a little bit bigger with the $2 signs instead of the 1 compared to Daisuke and Keisuke. So for now, let's go with Haruto, get a downhill battle going on. Yeah, again, trash talking, normal street racer stuff. A little bit of a higher bet because he's a higher rep racer. Let's accept that and get to racing. So here we are, start of the race again, shows our bet, and you know, this one only has 1 heat because it's just a downhill run. Again, hold gas and brake at the same time. Wait for the flash. Let's go. Hold on just a second. I'm getting frame stutters. Let me switch back to full screen. That should fix it. Yeah, there we go. And we get a text from JB. I will read that out when we finish the race. And I personally like to race in bumper cam. And again, in the top right, you can see my controls, so you can see what all I'm pressing and, you know, how to not lose grip around corners, because that's a big one for people. And so this car is all stock, so you do have to be very careful around corners. Here in the next hairpin, I will tell you how to go through it without losing grip. So again, I'm using manual with clutch, so I shift a lot faster, and along a lot of these corners, you might have to downshift more than you think. In all hairpins, you should take them in second gear. Second gear is the one where you won't bog down as much and you won't lose traction if you control the throttle correctly. This corner is kind of menacing to some people because you have to slow down more than you think you do. And so we're coming up to another hairpin. And as you're in the hairpin, again, take it in second, feather the throttle through it. So just like kind of spam it on and off, and you won't lose grip and you won't spool down the turbo as much. Because turbo lag does exist, and you have to be careful not to get too low in the RPMs, or else you're going to bog down the car a ton, and it's going to be hard to get back up to speed. We're about midpoint through the map right now. This is Ikaho Forest Park, as I mentioned in the first video. This is another corner that can be a little bit menacing because you have to take it in second in some cars and third in some other cars. So yeah, in a lot of these tighter corners, again, just feather the throttle. You don't want to fully gas out of corners, like from 0% coasting through it all the way to, like, you know, fully hammering it, because you will lose traction and the AI will get ahead of you because of that. So again, here's another hairpin. Let's see it. Down to second, feather the throttle. Oops, I got tapped. If you do lose traction, just hold the throttle through it and steer towards the other way, or whatever way you want to go, so you don't, you know, spin out too hard. Here's another long straightaway. This is one of the few places on this map you can properly use NOS. But be careful you don't go barreling into this corner, because you want to take that in fourth. And because it was an HP battle, you're gonna win the race just based off of that and not getting to the finish. So that's one thing that we'll see in the text from JB, is the race wins are fully dependent on your health. So if the rival finishes ahead of you, gets to the finish line first, but you have a higher health, you're still gonna win. So if you lose that very last corner, you don't have to worry about losing it because of that. But alternatively, if you were behind the entire race and your health is really low and you get ahead in that last corner and finish first, you're still going to lose because it's purely based off of the health. So that confuses a lot of people. The race wins are just whoever has the most health when the race is over. And there's our night multiplier going up. We started the race with 0.3, and we got a little bit of bonus money because of that. And you can see in the sides bet cuts, it says we're on difficulty 2, so we got twice the amount of side bet cut. If you're on difficulty 0, you're just going to get a, 42,500 there. And we got more race rep out of that compared to our first race because Haruto has a higher rep than Keisuke does. So you earn more rep if you race the higher end people. You saw in that clip just there, there was circuit front bumper unlocked. And so all of the circuit and prototype parts in the game are locked from the get-go. Let's not jump back to the PA right now. And to unlock them, you just have to keep racing, keep getting your rep up, and there is a hidden XP bar in the game, which later on it will be shown just for, clarity reasons. But you just keep getting that up and you unlock more and more parts. It starts with bumpers and stuff, and the first actual performance part you get, I believe, is the circuit ECU, and then you get a little bit more cooling parts, and it kind of snowballs from there, and you get more and more cool stuff to put on your car, circuit prototype stuff. So yeah, I'd reckon that's about it for both the race types right now. I will do a video on racing a boss race, which is SK. Probably next time. There could be another video on modifying the car and other in between stuff like the auction house and car storage. But yeah, let's leave it there for today, and I will catch you in part 3.